Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
We're back with Legacy Talk, and today we're actually going to be like Oprah Winfrey over here doing questions to Miss Andrea. And
no pressure.
And she goes, "Can we practice?" I was like, "No practice."
Like, what are we going to ask?
No, it's not bad. I promise. Or do you want it to be bad? Because I can switch the questions.
No, I'm good. Let's see what you got for me.
Well, welcome everybody once again to Legacy Talk. My name is Brenda Lopez.
And I'm Andrea Amador.
And we're going to just like dive right in, okay? Because we want to get to know Andrea behind the real estate hat, behind realtor mode, right? So tell us a little bit about like your childhood. Like, where did you grow up? Where were you born? What was your favorite core memory from childhood?
Okay, well, I was born in Mexico, in Guadalajara. And I came here in the United States when I was 3 months for the very first time. So I did a lot of back and forward a portion. So when I was 3 months, I came here and we lived in Los Baños.
Oh, way.
So I don't remember much of it because I was a little girl. And we actually did move back to Mexico when I was 3 years old. And I lived in Mexico until I was 10 and we came back. So I didn't actually learn English until I was 10.
No way.
Yeah, because when I was 3, I mean, I was barely learning how to talk.
You're like, no.
So there was no much speaking. So I came and I was only 10 years old and I had to like learn the whole language. And it was like, I literally told my mom, like, I want to move back. Like, this is not for me. So
yeah,
it was different. It was difficult. And yeah, but I feel like my English is okay, right?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, you would never even know that it's like your second language because you know a lot of people, and I can relate as well because like you pick up like an accent.
Yes.
But no, you don't.
Okay. I thought you were saying that I do.
No,
I'm like, I feel like I do have an accent.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's definitely. ¿Cómo se llama la muchacha esa from Family?
Oh, Greg, ¿cómo se llama?
Oh my god, it totally left my,
the
she
super
plays
pretty
Luisa
skinny one, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes. ¿Cómo se llama? I literally just saw her.
She's Colombian?
In an interview. Yes, I just saw her in an interview.
You guys know who it is? Tell us.
They know who we're talking about.
I can't remember her name.
I actually
right
love her accent, but I do think that she overdoes it. No?
You think so?
I don't know.
I think because like, she tries to. Like,
I think she tries to. Like keep that accent, like me, like I want to like learn the best English that there is, I guess, and I want to like I don't want my accent to be as noticeable, so I try to speak, I guess, like the best I can. Yeah. But I feel like she actually loves her accent. It makes her her.
And like Salma Hayek too.
Yes.
But the other one that I know we all know who it is, but we can't think of her name. Like she's totally. Like, we'll circle back because it's going to bug me. But yeah, no, totally. You do not have an accent at all.
Thank you.
So tell us a little about how was that? Like, since you lived in Mexico and then you lived over here, how was the difference? Like, which one do you like the best?
Okay, to be honest, I feel like if I had the choice, I probably would have stayed in Mexico. It's a way different lifestyle. Like it's you're a free bird out there.
Yeah.
I remember being out like in the streets till like 10 and like by myself and nobody would check up on me.
The way you say I was the streets.
I was out in the streets. And then I would come home and be like, "Hey mom, like I'm here," and she'd be like, "Okay, like whatever, go to sleep." Like she didn't like my kids now. Like my son will not even go outside without me watching him from the door. Like literally. I'm like, go get your, whatever you need from the car. And you're like, no mom, like what if somebody tells me? But I was out there like just living my life.
The way you said that, I was in the streets.
I was in the streets. No, seriously. So I just feel like the lifestyle is much different out there. Like you're just free. Even this last time when I went, we went to like La Cena with my tia and everything, and we were walking back to our house, right? Everybody like out there, people walk because everything's like down the street. And there was like just a bunch of, it was like almost 11, and there was a bunch of kids outside running around with the parents outside, and I'm like, oh my god, tia, like not that I forgot how it was, but I'm like, this is still going on. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, what? It's a Thursday. Like, why are they sleeping?
Does anybody work?
Yeah. And then she was like, that's how it is out here. And I'm like, wow. Like, I love that.
The lifestyle.
The lifestyle is so different. So, I mean, of course, like coming here gave me much more opportunities that I'm sure that I would have had if I would have stayed out there. But childhood-wise, I do think that you enjoy more out there because there's so much more to do.
You're free.
It's free. Like there's no like go to sleep by 9. You know, like it's here we have a routine. Out there, it's more free. So
dude, that's crazy how that works, huh? That over there, because even when we go on vacation, and I thought it was just vacation mode, you know. Because, you know, you're just free and you're out. And like you said, you walk everywhere. Everything is like walking distance. And if it's not, it seems like it's walking distance.
Yeah, no, literally like blocks away and it's you're there. Like in 10 minutes the most. You've been through the whole town.
And then I think that's why people, I mean, needless to say, I think that's why they're so healthy out there. Because they're walking all the time. They're working. They're moving. And then for us, it's like we're going down the street. Like, let me get in my car.
Let me get an Uber. And out there, everybody's just so nice too. Like you go down the street and everybody's greeting you. Like, you know, it's different. So lifestyle. I definitely enjoy my childhood out there.
Yeah, I love that. But like you said, it's a catch-22, more opportunities
of
here.
Of course, definitely.
So when you came over here, was that like, obviously that's a culture shock. Is that why you were like, let me go back?
Literally like when we came, it was like, I remember it was in December, December 12th, and El Día de la Virgen. And we were in Tijuana, and it was like 6. And it was already dark.
Wow.
And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, why is it so dark? Like, apenas son las 6. And then she was like, I think they have like some type of like the sky is darker. And I was like, we're not even there yet. Like, can we just go back already?
I know. You're like,
I was like, this is not for me. Like, I'm used to being in the streets at this time and it's still light outside.
Like, out with you in the street.
I'm serious.
I'm from the streets.
So literally, I'm from the streets, Mom. Like, this is not right. I can't. You know, run around as I went out here.
And it probably was. You were indoors when you came over here, huh?
Yeah, so it was like, so from that and then like, you know, being out here, we lived off of Fairview at my tia's house, and it was like a ranch. And it was like out from, you know, away from everybody. So that having a new school, like not knowing the language and like not having all my cousins that I was used to playing with, like it was just me, my sister, and my mom. It was hard. It was rough. Like I would literally cry like almost every day because I was like, dude, like I don't want to be here.
Take me back.
I would beg my mom to take me back. Like, Mom, I don't like it here. Like it's, you know, but I knew that there was a reason behind it, and my mom was just like, "Hey, listen, like it's for a good cause. It's for a good cause. Like just not suck it up, but just try, you know, try a little bit harder." And like so that was in 6th grade, and I learned the language like pretty quickly. I started to catch on, and you know, it just got easier from there. And I think I just kind of like got used to it. And like. You know, pues ya que.
You're like, I guess. How long did it actually like feel like home? You know, because obviously you're missing your home in Mexico and what you know from childhood. Like, how long did it take it for you to be like, all right, like I'm good here? Or still you don't?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't think it felt like home. I think I just kind of got used to it. And then I would say more towards like high school maybe, or like once I got to like 8th grade to where I already knew the language and I had already made a lot of friendships and me sentía más. And then we moved into town. So like me sentía más confortable, you know, because when I was out here, like I felt like just so restricted. Trapped, and trapped. So, so yeah, I don't think it ever felt like home, but I just kind of got used to it. But now, of course, it's different. Like, I don't know. I never thought about that when I actually felt like it was like, okay, I'm at home. But I do know that I belong here, and I do know that I'm here for a reason. And I'm here to kill it. And you know, and that's just, you know, I just want to prove that it doesn't matter where you came from. Like, you have a purpose, and you just got to keep trying. And I feel like even more power to me, the fact that I didn't have you know, maybe as many opportunities as others did, not being born here and like coming here and not knowing the language and how much I've overcame within the last whatever 20 plus years. It just shows to prove that you just got to do it. And that's why I'm not gonna stop trying. I'm gonna keep going, and I'm just gonna keep proving not anybody wrong, but just to show that you can do it.
Yeah, for yourself, for your own self-worth, to showcase who you really are, which I love.
Yeah, like I want to inspire people to like, hey, don't allow that to make you feel like you don't have places to be. Like, go harder, go harder. You know,
absolutely. Don't let that handicap you. Don't be like, power.
Oh well, I have to stick to this because you know that's where people think we belong. No, hell no. Like you go out there and be the best version of yourself and keep shooting for the stars and like that's it. Keep going.
The sky's the limit and beyond. The universe is your playground.
Exactly.
For sure. So I can definitely, you always showcase that you're hungry, that you're motivated, that you're ready to like kill it and just do it not only for, like you said, you don't have to prove to anybody, just prove it to yourself and your self-worth and that you can do this. So let's retro fit ourselves back in time a little bit. Do you remember your first job that got you to that point where you've created the hunger that you have now? Do you remember your first job?
I do. So I was actually 16 years old when I got my first job, and it was at a check cashing place. So literally, I was like 16. I would get out of school, high school, and I would walk to my job, which was like on the other side of town. So it would take me like at least like 30 minutes to get there. And then sometimes I would have the manager like, hey, can you just pick me up? And she would, because she was actually a family friend. So she was super sweet. But yeah, I was like 16 years old doing like check cashing, money transfers, like,
she's like,
you know, so it was good. And I knew that I wasn't going to settle for less at that point. Like, hey, I'm only 16 years old and I've already accomplished this type of job. And, you know, not to downplay anybody, but, you know, most people start like, you know, at McDonald's or things like that. You know, your very first job. And me, like, I had already landed that type of job, and I'm like, listen, like I need to like get better. So I was there for like 3 years, and then I was going to college. I went to GAV. I did my prereqs for nursing, and I was also doing some criminal justice classes because I didn't know what I wanted to stick to, but I knew that I wanted to do something. So then I switched jobs. So then I started working at Shoe Palace.
Okay.
And we had like, during that time, we had like 52 stores, and I would, not always, but most of the time, get number one in sales.
Wow.
Because I was always like, that's, you know, amazing. Getting people to like, hey, let's do this, let's do those shoes. So I know I'm a good like, I know I can, I'm like, hey, I know you need the shirt for those shoes. So like I knew that I wanted to like keep growing, and then me being in college, like I was doing my nursing, and I knew that it was going to take forever, like to get into the actual program. So I was like, I don't want to keep working retail. I want to get into a job that's better. So then I ended up going to dental assisting school, which all my cousins are in the dental field, and they used to always tell me, just do it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm going to do nursing. I'm good. But then I was like, you know what? It's just temporary. Like, I'm just going to do dental temporary. So I went to school. I graduated. When I got out of school, I got 3 jobs at the same time.
Wow.
So I had options. And and I was like, you know what? Like, let me choose what's going to benefit me the most. So I got a job with an oral surgeon, and I got a job at a endodontist, and also at a general office. Oh, that's awesome. And even though that the general office was the farthest, because it was in Santa Cruz, I knew that I was going to learn the most there, because I was going to learn everything and not just one, specialty.
Got you.
So then I worked in Santa Cruz at a dental office for about, 2015, so 3 years. And then I got pregnant with my first son. And then when I went back to work, then I got a job here in Hollister. And then I just kind of stuck to working here.
Locally.
Yeah, locally. But, and then once I had my second son, I knew that I wanted to keep growing, and I got, into real estate.
That's awesome.
So
I love that.
Yeah, it was good. So back to when I was working at Western, I'm a dental office in Santa Cruz. They actually kept paying for me to get different licenses. So then I got my RDA, and then I got my OA. And it's funny because literally like 2 weeks before my due date, I was determined to pass my OA, my orthodontist assistant license. Like you have to get licensed through the state. And I took it the first time, and I didn't pass it because it was super hard. But I had already done all my schooling, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep trying, and I'm gonna pass this test before I have this baby, because I know that after I have this baby, I'm not gonna have time. So literally, I passed my test 2 weeks before my due date. I was super pregnant there, taking the test, and I passed it. And I was like, okay, cool.
You're like, I got this.
I got this. So yeah, I mean,
I love it. So tell us a little bit, because you had said before, for those of us that doesn't, you said general office.
Yes.
What does that mean?
A general office, that means that we cover everything. Fillings, crowns, extractions, cleanings. Usually a specialty office, like if you go to an oral surgeon, they do extractions only, or anything that has to do with surgery. If you go to an endodontist, it's like for root canals and stuff like that. A general office does everything. And cool. I chose that because I wanted to, especially being fresh out of school, like I want to learn everything. For in case that
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's how you know this girl is a go-getter. She's like, I want to know everything.
Yes, I want to know everything, and it was a really good choice, to be honest. I got to learn everything, and I'm very thankful for that office because they did a lot for me, and they helped me grow. And within we had 2 different departments. We have ortho, and then we had general, so orthodontist. And we had supervisors. They had 2 separate supervisors for each floor. Wow. They ended up demoting them, and they gave you the job? And they gave me the job for both.
Killer.
And I was like,
I love it.
Oh my God, like I was the youngest, first of all. I was only 20. And these other, the supervisors that had been there for years, and one of them, the one for ortho, she was like in her 50s, so she was much older than me, and the other one, she was like in her 30s, so and they had experience, and I was like, oh my God, like the manager and the doctor took me out to lunch, and they're like, hey, like we want to talk to you, and I was like, okay. That's like awesome. I thought I was in trouble. So they sat me down. So they sat me down. They're like, hey, we want to talk to you. Like, we know that you have the potential. We want to offer you this position. And they said, ortho and general floor. And I was like, wait, but you guys already have, I was like, are they leaving? Like, why? And they're like, no, like, we think that you might be a better fit. And I'm like, for both? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, like,
you're all, hell yeah.
I didn't want them to like hate me or, because they're like, oh, what's this like super young girl? And I'm like, how are they going to listen to me? Everybody that I did work with was much older than me too. So I'm like, they're not going to want to listen to me, but it went really good. And that helped me grow, because every job that I had ever, afterwards has been supervising. So I've always done the floor. I've always run the floor. I do the ordering for the whole office, so it came with so much, but I got to learn all that, so I got to do that afterwards as well. So that's what I mean by saying that I'm thankful for them, because I learned so much there, so much.
Yeah. And then really showcases, again, it goes back to you being on hustle mode and learning, and always, and not being afraid to get yourself in something different and get uncomfortable, and that's where you grow the most, when you get uncomfortable. And it's been a year or so that you got your real estate license? How long
a little bit over a year and a half.
A year and a half, and she's been killing it. She's been doing amazing things. Just recently, she quit her dental job to do this full time, and she's been killing it. Like, just day one, she came on, wrote a sale on the board. So I'm just like so happy, one, first and foremost, to have you here, and two, to see your drive, because not a lot of people have that drive. A lot of people say they're going to do it, but they don't do it. And you have to get those actions together in order to get to that place, right?
You have to push yourself. And like now I don't have a manager telling me like, hey, you have to be here from 8:30 to 5. Like, I don't have a set schedule. So now it's me just pushing myself. Like, this is where it could get the most uncomfortable and the trickiest, and this is where you can actually fail, because I don't have anybody telling me do this, do that. Like it's on me. So me getting up every morning, that's me wanting to do better and wanting to, thrive and just keep growing. And I just have to keep reminding myself,
Absolutely.
like this is why you did that.
Yep.
Like don't give up. Keep going, and sky's the limit, like
Absolutely.
you said.
Absolutely. I think the biggest misconception of like when you go full time and you are your own boss is that we have all this free time in the world. We're actually on 24/7, and we have to like show up for ourselves. And if we don't show up, the work doesn't get done.
Exactly.
So you're even more motivated to get up every morning and come through and do what you got to do, because you know that if you don't put in the work, the food's not going to get put on the table magically. So now segueing into kind of like maybe something a little deeper, and it's going to be a 2-part question, right?
Okay.
So tell us, what is one of your biggest fears?
One of my biggest fears, I don't like public speaking.
We're going to work on that.
That's literally like, I don't know, like, me trabo, like, I can't, like, I just get so nervous, and I think a part of that is because I feel like I'm gonna mess up. Like, I'm good with speaking to people or with my clients, like, even if it's, like, a full table, then I'm okay with, like, speaking to them. But when it comes to, like, doing, like, speeches, and I do want to work on that, I do want to overcome that, but that's probably one of my biggest fears when it comes to that.
You're like, don't make me public speak, please.
No, don't make me do
much.
public speaking, please.
Okay.
I truly feel that.
No, Brenda, I fear that.
I don't like it.
Well, we'll work on it together. I think it's definitely something that you have to like master and get comfortable with, because when I first was starting, I was like a deer in headlights. I was staring at everybody, and I was like, oh shit.
Exactly. Like, I'm okay with like starting, and then as soon as I see everybody just like staring, I'm like,
you're like, stop, close your eyes.
Like, my mind just blinks. And I literally just want to like run out.
Yeah.
Literally, it's insane, and I'm like, I don't like the feeling. I don't like the feeling of feeling like anxious and nervous, and I'm like, shoot, like, do I gotta do this?
Close your eyes, everybody. Just kidding.
Literally, like, please just don't look at me. Just listen. Or para abajo, I don't know. Do something, but don't stare at me.
Something other than that, okay? Oh my
and like, I think because all these people are powerful people as well, right? Like, in their own way, and like they're listening to you and your knowledge, and it's like, shoot, like, it's more pressure. And if I say something wrong, they're gonna know.
No, remember they say you know more than whoever your audience is, and if they do know, who cares? Like,
I know.
The fear is like, ni modo la cago y ya la cago. Exactly.
But that's one of the reasons why, I don't. Another fear would just be like failing or like disappointing. Like, my kids look up to me, and I want to make sure that I do what I do for them, and I don't want them to ever think that I fail them. So I think that would be another of my biggest fears, like failing and disappointing, like your the people that look up to me the most.
Babies.
Yeah,
no, for sure. That's your driving factor at the end of the day. So speaking of your driving factor, what inspires you the most?
What inspires me the most? I think my surroundings. There's a lot of people that I look up to. My kids inspire me, my family, my whole team. I like to surround myself around people that are going to make me grow and that are going to want to push me to do better, and people that inspire me, because I look up to you and I want to be that. Like, I want to, it motivates me to want to do more, to want to do better. So, yeah.
And so what is one of the things that you would want, towards, not to get morbid or anything, but what would you want for Andrea to stand for, and what would you want your legacy to be?
First of all,
listen.
I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family, and I always say that.
I love that.
And I'm a big believer in, like, manifesting and, like, speaking into existence. So I'm going to say I am.
She is a millionaire.
I am, because I'm already speaking into existence, and I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to ensure that, that it happens.
Yeah.
So
you're looking at the next Forbes magazine cover right here. You saw it here first, okay?
Yes, you guys heard it
So
first.
ask her for autographs right now, okay? She's available.
Ahorita que I'm still in town, because later that's gonna
We'll start in Hollywood.
Netflix or Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta. That's what you were saying. You know, we gotta do a selling Hall of Stuff.
Yes,
I've been
we do.
tagging and hashtagging
Oh
Netflix.
my God, let's
so
do
Netflix,
it.
si nos estás viendo, pues you know we're over here
we're
like
here for it.
San Bernardino County.
We got one too.
We have
we
a
got
different
one too.
kind of bell, okay, but it's still a bell. But thank you guys so much for joining in with us. We're gonna dive in every episode a little bit more to get to know us, because obviously, like a childhood episode, I think it's like an episode in itself, and then you know our struggles to get to where we're at is a whole other episode. So we'll dive in even more, and you guys. Like I said, you guys are more than welcome to come in and do Legacy Talks on your own and do your thing and put something together. But until next time, thank you once again for joining in. Brenda Lopez. We'll see you next time. And
thank you guys, and Andrea Amador. Thank you guys.
See you later.